So what happened in 2000, early 2009, late 2008 is that I was working for a mobile payments firm called Amana, and the financial crisis had just started. The stock market locally had shut down. So even though it was a very popular product, but we ran out of startup funding, and as a result, I lost that job. And Next Generation Innovation started out of that period of unemployment, where I started to do some consulting contracts, and that sort of led into a life of its own. From an ecosystem perspective, what we have seen is there's a big lack of large investments in the IT sector. So we see a lot of services companies which generally tend to be much easier to start, very low capital intensive. You can start with $500,000 or less. In fact, a lot of people just start from their home with almost zero investment. So that sort of entrepreneurial ecosystem exists, where people find projects and then they say, okay, I'm going to leave my job and do this project. But they have no clue on why they want to do this, where they'll be in 5 years from today. So that ecosystem does exist, where it's very cottage sort of industry, but professional investment into product-based companies is very lacking. I think we can count maybe hardly 20 companies on tip of our fingers where we see that there has been a serious plan, an investment into that plan. So that is really a very small number for a country the size of Pakistan. So the process started about, I think, exactly a year ago, where there was an application deadline in September or October. So coming up with the application itself takes about a month, just like you're applying for any university admissions. You just can't rush it and do it all in one night. So give about 2 to 4 weeks to keep revising your essays and your application. So that was step one, meeting the deadline of submission in sometime in October last year. The second step was just a waiting game of about 2 months to hear back whether you've been shortlisted or not. So alhamdulillah, that was sort of the step number two, where first is you actually meet the deadline of submitting the application. The second is you get shortlisted. Then the third was a local panel interview by the likes of Ataur Rahman and Humayun Bashir, some ex-Eisenhower fellows and some industry representatives. So it was a local panel interview held at Karachi University. So that was step three. And then step four, once you pass that, was a panel interview on Skype with a team in the US. I think there were about 3 people from the Eisenhower Fellowship. And so after that, you basically hear whether you've been accepted or not. So that's sort of 3 to 4 month process and 4 steps to it. Once you have gone through that, then there is a 3 to 4 month gap in which almost nothing happens, in which you sort of mentally start to prepare for the fellowship. And then in July, so about 5 months after you've crossed all the stages, you're assigned a program officer, and then you work with him or her to plan your itinerary for the US, which is itself a 2 to 3 month process, because you have to think about and plan for about 50 meetings, and that requires a lot of hours in terms of researching individuals and corporations that you want to meet. The primary objective of this is to return back to the society. However, before you can do that, you have to go and learn the process. So for me, this is a huge investment in my own training, first of all, because you spend 2 months away from your family, your home, your business or job, and that investment I felt was required in the middle of the career, and this was a great opportunity to do that. So one is just personal leadership training, which should come out of this. From returning back to the society, there were 2 objectives. One is understanding how entrepreneurial ecosystems work in the West, and not solely focusing on existing ecosystems like the Silicon Valley, but also how new ecosystems are developed in a place like Detroit, which has been around forever as a motor city of America, and now with the Chinese and the Asians competition and car manufacturing industry sliding down, these cities are struggling, and they are working hard to develop entrepreneurial ecosystems by bringing in academia, government, industry, and understanding how that process works is more important than going and just looking at Silicon Valley, which has already been developed and been successful for at least the last 40-50 years. So understanding the development of those ecosystems is probably the most critical aspect of this fellowship, in which we'll be meeting with the chambers of commerce, a lot of university-related initiatives, a lot of industry-related initiatives, plug-and-play centers, individuals who have been mentors for hundreds of these startups, government organizations, how they assist in this process, and also attending conferences where everybody sort of comes together and shares their experience of how ecosystems can be built in a city from completely ground up. The third aspect of the fellowship is the digital delivery of education. We've seen the success of Khan Foundation in places like in places where the education system is supposedly one of the best, and still the digital delivery of education has made a big impact. So when we come to Pakistan and we have crores of uneducated youth as well as adults, and we have thousands of ghost schools, we have thousands of teachers which only exist on paper, and we know that we'll never have enough teachers and we will never have enough schools, at least in our lifetimes, to educate these masses. But all of them have a cell phone, all of them have a very low bandwidth internet connection on their cell phone. In the next 5 years, majority of them will have access to broadband internet either in their own home or through a central location in their village. So preparing for that day where everybody will have access to a broadband internet connection within half an hour, 1 hour walking distance from wherever they live is, I think, one of the big investments that I want to understand how that ecosystem can be developed, and then work with local organizations like Wateen, Wiretribe, who are in the space of providing high-speed wireless bandwidth, come up with programs with them for digital delivery of education. So we'll be meeting the likes of Khan Foundation in the US. Tough. So the question is, how will this impact my life? It's very early to say that, Rabia. 3 years ago, I did not even foresee that I'll be running a business and I'll have responsibilities of providing opportunities for a few dozen individuals and their families. I never imagined that kind of responsibility 3 years ago, when I was unemployed and I was looking for a job. So life takes its own mysterious turns, and I don't think it's a fair question right now to ask how will this impact. Broadly speaking, it should have a great leadership impact. I will be meeting dozens of individuals who have started from very little or nothing and gone on to build large organizations. So that mentorship or that leadership is going to be something that stays with me for life. So the second big impact, the general impact that should come out, is a lot of new relationships will get developed over the next 2 months, meeting with about 50 or 60 organizations, maybe about 100 people. And now the objective is, how to keep these relationships for life. When we were students, it was all about friendships and sort of getting the homework done and getting a 4.0 GPA. Now it's, how can these contacts and these individuals contribute to my own personal goals, to my professional goals, to projects that I want to do for Pakistan when I return. So the context of these meetings and the conversations will be very different, and these contacts would hopefully be for life. Whenever they want to do something in Pakistan, they will think of us. Whenever we want to work with the US organizations, they will be our bridges to that community. So I think these two are the big general impacts. One is personal mentoring and leadership, and second is these contacts. Meeting 40 to 50 people related to entrepreneurial ecosystems from different walks of life should have a very direct impact on having to coming back and then working with local organizations, whether it's the Sindh IT Ministry, whether it's Pasha, whether it's university incubators, whether it's the entrepreneurship program at IBA which is kicking off. All of these segments of society, I should be able to go and at least contribute a little bit more than I'm able to contribute. Right now, all the knowledge is from TechCrunch.com or Harvard Business Review magazines. Going there and living that life for 2 months and meeting with individuals who have actually built these organizations and foundations should have a totally, should expose a very different mindset and personality to me, and then the biggest challenge I'll have is translating that experience that I have into actionable and meaningful objectives for the individuals here in Pakistan, for the organizations here in Pakistan. I don't intend to start anything new when I return. There is enough work going on already in the space of entrepreneurial ecosystems, in the space of digital delivery of education. So the best thing that can happen is to partner with existing initiatives and contribute as well as mentor them and then connect them to these organizations in the West for leveraging whatever has been done in the West and not having to reinvent the wheel. Those will be the big objectives when coming back. Not to nothing rocket science.